Hello, everyone. How are you doing? This is Daryl Guberman, CEO of Guberman PMC LLC, a quality consulting firm here in Connecticut. This video today is about QA expert Daryl Guberman breaks the news on the Department of Homeland Security being a customer of ANSI-ANAB, Boeing's customer too. Boeing is a customer too. They all sit together. I've told you this before. We'll tell you again. We were down in Washington on April 17, 2024, we were supporting Sam Salipar, the whistleblower. We have a lot of information. We didn't give Richard Blumenthal's staff that much information. We gave them enough. But, you know, when you see the intertwinement of the DHS with Boeing and all the rest of these federal agencies, they are a customer of ANSI-ANAB, the accreditation body that Boeing is also a customer of and mandates on their supplier portal. Mandates on their supplier bulletin of 2002, and also sits on the board of ANSI-ANAB that can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification. You really cannot make this up. You know, you can try as you may, but you just cannot make this mess up. It is absolutely abominable. You look through this and you say to yourself, what is going on here? It's terrible. So here we go. This is actually the newest picture that we took from 3/18/2024, so it's brand new, still fresh off the press. You see all the different companies here. You see Boeing as well, and they can grant, suspend, and withdraw certification sitting on ANSI-ANAB's board. So there's a constriction there. They're breaking the Sherman-Clayton Act. We have the proof. I also was down at the Capitol Hill when David Calhoun was there giving his deposition. And I'm going to say this. The only thing he really knew about was how much money he was making, $32 million. And I think it's going to be $45 million when he leaves in December. And also that he has 130,000 people, I think, on board. We have Richard Blumenthal, the subcommittee chairman, but I want to give you some history on Richard. I'm not going to give you too much because this video would be about 2 hours long. But I'm going to give this to you, ladies and gentlemen, business owners, my fellow citizens. In 2009, Lockheed Martin got hacked by China taking the F-35 fighter. In 2012, a division of United Technologies got hacked by China, taking the Black Hawk, Seahawk, 53, T-700 engine, etc. In 2015, Lockheed Martin goes to purchase Sikorsky, and whoever was the CEO at the time, Marilyn Houston, and the other guy, who the heck knows in UTC, but how could you spend $9 billion on a company that had their technology taken? And this is a problem. Take a good look at this, the title. With China's okay, Lockheed Martin to close on the purchase of Sikorsky aircraft. With China's okay, our number one military contractor that had their technology taken is buying another technology rated into a company, and it's not good. In fact, we will show you real quick. We have it in our file. You know, people ask me all the time, this is, Daryl, Mr. Guberman, how do you know? How do you know that the technology was taken? Well, what we did was, I had some people look this up, and here it is. You can't make this up. Up at top is the F-35 and the J-31, which is its counterpart from China. You have the Black Hawk, and then you have the Z-20, which looks exactly like the Black Hawk. So yes, the technology was taken. But we're going to get back to this because then you read a little bit further in this article. If you want it, I'll gladly send it to you. But Connecticut lawmakers praise Lockheed Martin for clearing its last regulatory hurdle. This is what it should have said, ladies and gentlemen, in Connecticut. Constituents who are voting for these people, and also all over the country. The same thing goes on, but I wanted to tell you, we deciphered it into what it should have said in the newspaper. Connecticut lawmakers, Rosa DeLauro, Richard Blumenthal, Chris Murphy, and Jim Hines praise our number one military contractor, Lockheed Martin, for working with communist China. Can you imagine that? Richard, and you are the subcommittee chairman. How can that be when you approve Lockheed Martin working with communist China? What does that say about your integrity? Right now, we're going to show you this. These are 3 of the federal agencies that sit on ANSI-ANAB's board, right over by Boeing. And I really have to tell you this. The DOJ and the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, they are customers to ANSI-ANAB. They pay for a fee, services being rendered by ANSI. So what's wrong with that picture when you have Boeing on there paying fees, and they're also paying membership fees, DOJ, DHS, and Boeing, and they sit together? Richard, you find anything wrong with that? Come on, Richard, wake up a little bit. And then you have Boeing, of course. And of course, they're really stuck together too good here, to tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. This is the balance sheet off of ANSI's tax report. And who's on there? Department of Commerce. We have them in here. You'll see very shortly. Homeland Security, Department of Justice, U.S. Food and Drug Administration, and it's just, it's the FDA, okay, who are members of ANSI-ANAB, but they're also paying a fee to be their customers as well. ANSI-ANAB are their supplier of materials. So we're going to show you this because I need to read this to you. How can justice be done when we have the DOJ, DHS, FAA members on ANSI-ANAB board, the accreditation body and underwriter of Boeing? Also, DOJ, DHS, Department of Commerce, FDA, all are paying fees not just for membership, but also for business transactions. ANSI-ANAB are underwriters for the IF, International Accreditation Forum, incorporated in Delaware. It is an association of accreditation bodies, national and international. Also, the sister organization, ILAC, the International Laboratory Accreditation Cooperation. Please note, ANSI is the founder of the IF and ANAB is the affiliate. We have the Department of Justice sitting right over by Boeing, who was just fined $250 million for the DOJ lying, actually, because they said Boeing lied to the FAA. Let me tell you something. You go back, I have that information. In 2009, Boeing was made an FAA regulator. They were equivalent in agency status. They were the FAA. You have the Department of Homeland Security. And here's the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. You have this guy over here, Phil Matheson, $262,000. He's getting paid by ANSI. He also gets his federal salary, and he is the Executive Director of Office of Standards, U.S. Department of Homeland Security. So how can we have justice being done, ladies and gentlemen, business owners? Sam Salipur, how can we have justice? Ms. Katz, his attorney, how can we have justice here when you have the DHS sitting on the accreditation body of Boeing, paying a fee for membership and also paying them money to have a service rendered on them that ANSI-ANAB are giving them? You have the Federal Aviation Administration sitting there. This is a good one. You have NIST, the Department of Commerce, sitting there. And you have a Mr. Gordon Guberman, $120,000, tax-free, royalty payment, various whatever, plus his federal salary. His title is Director of Standards Coordination of Office at the National Institute of Standards and Technology. I think they meet maybe once or twice a year, maybe meet for 2 hours, smoke a cigar and have some martinis. Don't think that anything gets done. Because if it did, Boeing's quality wouldn't be in the shitter. If they did, Lockheed Martin would not have, after 801 F-35s, still producing rejected product. You wouldn't have Pfizer skipping quality processes and standards. You wouldn't have Johnson & Johnson 75 million COVID vials got returned because of contamination, skipping quality processes. What we have here is the DHS is... What can you say about that, ladies and gentlemen? You let me know below here. Let me know that if you think that Richard Blumenthal, being the subcommittee chairman and listening to Boeing, we listened to him in April 17th, which I was there. If you want to see that, it's Daryl, D-A-R-Y-L, Guberman, Boeing. Put it into the search engine, then hit images, and you will see me. I don't make this up. We're trying to save people's lives. Richard goes from one meeting to another, and we can't concentrate on what they're doing. All the representatives, have become ineffective. And as you can see, they're all in bed together. My telephone number is 203-556-1493 or Daryl, TQRS, @yahoo.com. I thank you, and remember this. The truth will set you free, but not until Daryl Guberman is finished with you. Always remember that. I thank you.